Welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 12, Week 6. My name's NightFiree with 2 E's. I am joined by my co-caster Grenade Magnet. How are you doing today, Grenade?
Good evening, everybody. I'm pretty good. I am excited for this match. This is going to be an absolutely phenomenal one based on these two teams' history. I am excited to be here.
Oh yeah, it is a top-tier matchup coming at you. Raptors versus Rome. For those not in the know, Raptors, the former champions, dethroning beginners from what it was a long reign at the top of the VRML, and it really was, in my for me, an indicator of change in the VRML, in that we were seeing a lot of fresh blood come in, and people that were, in some cases, only 6 months into the game, proving that they are tactically sound, and they have that teamwork there. Raptors definitely one of those teams coming in season 10, winning season 11. Now we get to see what they've been doing in season 12. We haven't caught a game of theirs yet, but I mean, Raptors Rome today, Grenade, this is going to be super fun to tune into.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with them being the champions from season 11. I've always appreciated watching those kind of matches because it's just phenomenal to see how everybody plays at that kind of a level.
Yeah.
Because when you start getting into those finals, it's a very, very different ball game than when you're in the silver, bronze, let alone golds. Like golds are where you start kind of getting into the more serious tactics and regular team practices that are very, very pushing the limits.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be a learning experience. If you are just tuning in and new to the game of Onward, you definitely will be able to catch a few high-tier, high-level strategies, but at the same time, it's important to remember that these players and teams have played a long time together, and so that also a big element in how well they do execute their plays in a game like Onward. We have both teams in lobby, so we got to get into our pick bans for the day before they dive into the action. Coming in from Raptors, they have banned the likes of Suburbia, and over on Rome, they have banned Subway, and so we've got close range off of the playing field right away, Grenade, and it leaves us with a lot of, well, long range on that playing field and custom maps available. That custom map pool getting rotated out, and so we see some new custom maps in that map pool, and then obviously with this new map pool, we see some maps that we haven't had played all season, like the likes of Downfall, to start us off on map 1.
Yeah, and I was watching a cast earlier in season 11 for, I think it was Raptors versus, I can't remember the second team off the top of my head, but I was watching one of the Raptors in it, and they actually went to Downfall first. So it was an interesting bit of a play to see, but we're going to have this right here, right now.
Yeah, some teams do prefer that range. They have that expertise with the sniper on their roster, and so we'll find out if Raptors are going to be coming into Season 12 looking to regain the throne as Rome goes on defense, Raptors on the attack, and we're going to see that early commit to the cross with one on Overwatch, and they're discussing the risk of this cross as they do it. It certainly does have its fair share of risks.
Yeah, and with the live build that they're playing right now, they have the new weapons available. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually play that in the longer range maps here, since they're both into specialist class.
Yeah, brand new update coming out, I think today or
yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. It is hot off the press, and some players have opted to play in it. The build feels good to them. Others will be going back to that previous build to be played on, and so we are indeed here with the most recent update, and there have been a few fixes on the caster side as well. Name tags should be a little bit easier to read, and so just great to see that the spectator getting that kind of attention in an update. And to go back into the action here, Raptors have managed to work their way south west, but it's this cross coming up that's going to be a little bit challenging. Once they get over to that red car and try and actually push towards objective, it's a very late hold from the likes of Rome.
Yeah, but Tiger Striker is very, very good with laying prone or getting his head low to the ground to
There's a guy in the White House
take
in
advantage
the
of
solo
the
window
physical ability to
on the west
get
side of the
as
building.
close to the ground as you can to see under cars and underneath containers on such as
Yeah,
like
yeah, I see
cargo.
him.
Yeah.
He
So I think
keeps
we're going to see
peeking.
that here as he
Someone wants
comes
to
down
take
the
him.
road. If he continues down the rock wall down to that red car, he may peek it a bit more.
Yeah, for now, Tiger Strike's IDing one in White House, spotted out that far rotation up on
Sorry.
top of the hill. I believe that's
I
Meso
just
up
moved.
there, who is
Yeah,
on
it
that
is.
Overwatch position. And with that knowledge, the team has safely pushed up to 2-story, denying view from the likes of Meso. And now Meso does take those shots. That might be a first sort of indicator that Raptors have some offense over on this side.
Varix in the Marsoc buildings in the southeast is able to pick one off. It's only a down though, so we may see a.
They're still at the rock wall on the
I'm sorry,
west.
I thought he was
red
down in
truck.
silver that I was looking at here. I was looking up for him, but it's actually killed. And with
Yeah.
3 Marsoc in the same building, this may be an interesting play between Gladiator, Soda, and Varix off in the distance.
Really good comms coming in there from Soda to ID, again, the attack present here in the southwest. And as soon as that happened, you see the pop-up from Varix to get that refrag. That's just good back-and-forth communication between the teams. They've now taken control of the 3-story, which opens up a lot of different angles to them. Raz can potentially peek up through these stairs and have a line down onto Soda. They can challenge Varix up onto that window. They can challenge even that tower defensive position, but it is, of course, a challenge, and you are at risk of getting scooped up as Varix finds another along the wall. It's a down and not a full kill, so maybe a res available.
As you were mentioning tower, I'm actually looking over at Marksman all the way in the northeast still, looking at the tower. He was looking for somebody in there, and they just pulled out and ran to the Marsoc building, and he missed the entire cross for it.
Wow, and they just missed the dive into the 2-story as well. It's, I guess, a consequence of that site, right? You're very much tunnel visioned in to that to the tight scope that you have. You don't see externally that cross, and so yeah, just missing that rotation. Maybe they can catch the refrag as Varix tries to shut down this rotation off of the res. The push is coming in on that southwest side. But Varix has been a great defender here to shut this down. Not even necessarily inside that building, and still forcing a lot of fire. Soda able to get a kill off the back and payout in the minute 40 left. The Raptors are trying to work up, just finding nothing.
Yeah, I think they're really just trying to suppress as much as they can to be able to keep their heads down so somebody can maneuver in.
Gladiator goes down. Tiger Striker was looking for a kill up top onto that top Varix position, but couldn't get it. And we're into a 3v2 with Rome having plenty to res left as Raz tries to push out to the objective. They go down, and now Marksman, with a minute and a half left, not even a minute and a half, just a minute left, has to try and charge up to the objective in time.
It looks like he's got a 12x scope on there, so he's going to probably have a little bit more of a difficult chance of seeing people in these windows very accurately.
Yeah, not going to be an easy push. And what it is looking like is an easy defense here for Rome. They have done a great job of shutting down the southwest entry from Raptors here in round 1. And with Marksman as the lone attacker, I presume they have an accurate kill count, and so should know that this is the final attacker. Down it goes with the suppressive fire from Meso, and Rome, with 4 left and a res on the table, take round 1 on defense. Oh, is that some new post-game music coming in as well? I think it was.
Yeah, it sounds it.
But like I said, a tough round, if anything, for the likes of Raptors. Just not able to really string anything together. They're not able to get that pickup onto Varix, and Varix just playing that off-meta corner. They were peeking the outside corner, not the standard windows that are typically taken up on defense there, and so I think that was throwing off the initial sort of suppressive fire from the offense, and it just allowed Varix to continue to peek. somewhat comfortably and find those kills, prevent that cross from happening, and I think that Overwatch position really coming in key for the Rome defense.
Yeah. And all they had to do to get them really to stop that push on that road was just fire off a few rounds to at least let them know that they were seen as they were trying to cross over, and that rock wall basically was their only lifeblood as they were moving in.
Interesting to see a lack of utility really there. You know, smokes can certainly do you a lot of work on those rock walls. It would have been a good way to potentially deny some vision onto the likes of Varix up on that top north hill, but either way, you know, when you look at the likes of Downfall, Marsoc rounds are sometimes the hardest to execute on, right? If you can get your setup phase to work successfully, then you can have successful Marsoc rounds, but it is a challenge. And as we dive back into the action with more brand new Onward music, we'll see what round 2 has to deliver to us with Raptors on defense this time.
We knew where most of them were, we just couldn't get them. That's all, that's a good start.
Oh, and there's a little interesting tidbit grenade. The Raptors squad saying they knew where most of them were, but just couldn't get them. And yeah, again, to that point, they just couldn't get Varix. You know, they just could not connect on them.
Yeah. And as I was over here on Rome spawning off, they said they know where we were going to be, basically right off the bat. So they're going to keep peeking, make sure we grab their peaks.
Yeah, plan very much present there is Meso out the gate, suppressing fire down into that defense, trying to rotate into position. It allows for the rest of Rome to spread out and get sort of set up on this east side. As, yeah, Raptors are not going to have the luxury of getting up into the tower, and if Soda can get control there, it could be pretty powerful for an LMG to have that sort of high angle down onto the objective side.
Yeah, Tiger is nearby when Soda does approach this building, so if he does continue, does continue down his path of going in the tower and then firing, it's going to be a bit of a surprise to Tiger to come out that door and see that somebody's right in that tower for him.
Couple of different angles here that Soda has to be cautious of. Rypick is one of them, way over tucked in on that 3-story. They very well could have a line onto Soda's head if they're not too careful peeking in through this window. A little bit easier to identify, you know, a peek through the window there than having to scan an entire building. And so has to be every peak that Soda's going with here it is a bit of a risk, and Soda's just trying to gain information, but not really finding much of anything.
Yeah, an interesting point on the peak of risking, because Soldier is sitting directly on the uplink, not inside the building. He's using it as cover.
Yeah, we saw them actually set up there too, right out the gate. That was a position they took right at the start of the round.
Yo, heli 2-story, 2nd floor.
It's got the call out on Meso. So we might see Rypick here peeking over that way. Ooh,
he's dead.
Headshot by Varix on him for that though. So that eliminates him from the the hotel here.
Yeah, a solid job there from Varix, and a lot of eyes dialed into that 3-story building, and so very risky to take that peek up. If anything, Meso fortunate enough to force that peek. It clears out the 3-story building as well, and so while that 3-story is certainly going to be what they're going to go for, we also have potential action over on this hilltop side as Havoc gets very close to Tiger Strike, flies past them inside the 1-story, and now there's a bit of an awkward exchange on the corner as Havoc tucks back in.
On me, on me, on me, on me.
Havoc is calling out on me, but Tiger's in the 1st story, so Soda's got to go in and challenge him.
Beginner spot, beginner spot, beginner spot. 2nd floor north, 2nd floor north.
Oh, beginner spot. They know exactly the spot that the beginners were using for this tactic here.
Yeah, and Tiger Strike and Havoc. Yeah, both not afraid to communicate. They're exposing themselves to each other, but at this point, the information relayed to the team is more important. Tiger Strike has Overwatch essentially from his team, but Soda's going to challenge it regardless. Nobody there to watch that line. Soldiers couldn't peek, and Marksman and Raz are way back on that White House Hill, so an easy real pick, an uncontested pickup. Not easy, but Soda does find that pickup without anybody challenging from an exterior angle, and it is going to be now a 4v3 with Rome at a bit of an advantage here. Marksman still in this White House trying to not go down as those bullets from Soda just barely miss.
And with that, after taking those shots, he's going to fly over the other side, see if he can get a peek out for center of the map, and then pull back in reserve here.
Took the shots onto Soda, just barely missed. Soda instantly tucks back, and now, after those shots have been taken, Marksman, it falls off. But the coordination from Rome here as the comms are in, Gladiator suppressing the other side. Marksman doesn't have a ton of options. They're kind of being neutralized inside this house as Raz tries to defend deep in the ravine, very exposed to the likes of Bars, who does ID Raz out. Down they go, and only 2 defenders for Raptors as Gladiator gets very close to objective.
Yeah, Marksman's pinned back there, and he's going to have a very hard time giving Soldier support here as Gladiator pulls the tablet out and start getting the code ready.
Smokes are coming in from Havoc on the other side, and Soldiers tucking back in. Marksman trying to suppress the west approach as Gladiator prones their way up under the nose of Soldiers. Any sort of sound or audio here is going to give them away. And on the other side, you have Soda and Havoc distracting Marksman. They're not pushing too hard just yet. Gladiator's close enough. They're punching in the code, and they secure it.
Oh, just at the end. 31 seconds left in this round.
What a play from Rome to go for that cap. And like I said, on Downfall, it is hard to get Marsoc rounds, but it's all about the setup phase and then how you execute off of it. And so the setup phase just going well for the likes of Rome there. They got the kills they needed. They cleared out that north side and then, or that, east side, and from there take control down the hill. They have one come up the center. Really great coordination too when it comes down to that execution phase. Everybody's synced up, pushing in on the objective at the same time from all those different angles, causes that chaos, forces the attention to be pulled elsewhere, and a great bit of teamwork for Rome to get those 2 points, and fast at that. If there had been maybe 2 or 3 more seconds, I think there was a rotation there to check that line.
Yeah, and the coordination side, as you were saying, for the Rome in the east to keep Marksman busy in that tower.
Yeah.
Definitely helped because he would have been able to at least peek out of the main door and see directly in on it and almost get a view as to where Gladiator was.
Ooh, cat on stream. They'll definitely get some good brownie points going. Sure, chat will enjoy that. But yeah, we're not the only ones enjoying the action. Clearly, the feline side of things also having a good time here. But I think we got to talk about this. Rome 3-0 on Raptors map pick right now. Grenade.
Yeah, these unanswered cap points is going to be a big thing for Raptors. They are now on Marsoc, and they are spawning in the southeast, and they have a lot of open terrain to cover if they try to go in the mid to northern regions. So it's going to be interesting push. They're probably going to end up pushing in the south ravine here, or the valley, and then the 2 obviously kind of holding back a little bit more, just a few seconds to get into center here. And early shots out with the new weapon.
One of the new guns coming in. Definitely sounds brand new to me there as Rypik finds 1 kill with some aggressive pushing up here and is going to send suppressive fire up through that center building. And it's an interesting spread from Rome on this objective. They've really got a lot of defense committed over into that south side, the south side of objective. Not often do you see on an OBJ like that such a heavy presence there. It really does leave the north to do a lot of damage if they can be successful, and so we'll have to keep our eyes on that Soldiers Tiger Strike duo as Rypik does kick things off with that first kill.
Yeah, I think they're concerned about the valley approach as Raz is starting to peek over Nobody's directly looking his way except for maybe one looking down the other valley entrance. And down goes Tiger Strike. Only a
Tiger
down
Strike,
here
somewhere on
as
the wall,
he could
just
be
west wall.
revived.
Yeah, I
But
think
it's going to leave him a little bit more
West
exposed
wall.
for this res.
an unfortunate pick there onto that Raptors offense. Again, the north is going to be important. Marksman able to get another kill for Raptors, though, utilizing that 12
he's
times,
down. He
does
dropped his gun,
down
but I don't know if
one,
he can get up.
quickly rezzed, and you can even hear from Rome. They're not sure if it's a full kill.
shot,
Raz
helicopter
finally
two-story. He's
catches one as a bit of an over-aggressive rotation to the helicopter. Causes
Second,
Rome
center
another
floor, center
life,
hotel,
and they're
center
into a 4v3 right now. Raptors very much looking at potentially coming back and at least getting one on the board as the offensive round is going their way.
Meso out in the open.
Oh.
Rypick
BJ
does not
building.
connect with him with the new weapon.
North towards our
He
spawn.
does call out the fact that they did get the res. At least he thought so, which they are correct.
Where are we going
Yeah.
from the spawn? On the first floor. After
But Meso rotating back on the
Where are you coming
uplink
from the spawn?
is
Yeah.
probably going to be a bit more of an issue for them as they
If you
approach
can-
from
if you can-
the north in the center here.
A little bit of a firefight there in that south ravine as Raz pushes out. Varix staying disciplined inside. Going to be waiting for this push to come through, as is the likes of Havoc tucked in behind the red car. But it really is just these two before you get to the final defender, Meso on OBJ. And if Raptors can time up this push from the north, this could be a very successful collapse around this objective. It's just a matter of executing together as a team.
Yeah, and Raz is calling out that Varix is nearby him at lower dumpster. He walked in the building and heard probably one or two footsteps from Varix, and he called him out right away. He's going to be walking to his line of fire here in a second, though.
Yeah, I don't know what the utility is available, if the flash is going to come around the corner or not, but Varix also seems to be ready for some sort of push onto their position as they are, like you said, dialed in and waiting for Raz to make this swing. They also have the support of Meso on the back, and Meso is going to catch Raz before they can make that swing. Up on the backside, you have Marksman still on the hunt for any kind of picks, looking for the refrag onto Meso and doesn't find it. And Raptors, again, just need to sync up with the north, and this push could be successful as they really do have this defense trapped.
Yeah, he's roof of center hotel. Can't get him.
On the very
Marksman
top
does call out
part.
that Havix is on the roof of Center Hotel. He did miss, and he's not going to try for that kill right now. Oh, as of course he was rotating, he is going to go for it, but Havix is going to duck out of the way just in time.
So close here on these shots onto Havix. And really what Havix is doing is just buying time, pulling out bullets from the mags of the enemy and forcing them to stay stuck in their positions as Varix catches out Rypick tucked in. Soldiers refrags Havoc. Tiger Strike making the swing into the backside, finds Meso on objective, and now objective is open, and Varix has to come crashing back with a lot of eyes dialed in. It's going to be a hard rotation to go undetected here, and Raptors are looking at least 1 point. With a minute left, they're going to have to start their push, but no one's really making it yet. Varg is going to be able to rotate back and catches one. Can they get the triple? That's what they need.
That was a quick snapshot on him as he was moving in. Soldier's looking for the refrag. He's not going to see him because he's holding right on that wall in the center here. From the south, Marksman is only a building away with that sniper rifle.
Oh, and there's a smoke coming in. I wonder if they're going to go for a cap. It's certainly a big risk to be taking as Varix is here, but if you can place a good set of smokes, you can do whatever you want on OBJ.
Very well done.
Not going to be the cap play, though. At the end, those smokes force that rotation, and Raptors do put one on the board. They're not going to let their map pick go down that poorly. They certainly wouldn't allow 4-0 on their map choice here on the first map of this series, but they do have their backs against the wall as they now switch sides to defense on the same objective, and they are down 2. That cap from Rome. I mean, it's interesting because I feel like we see these happen, right, where the 1 point comes in, then a cap, and then, you know, the team that has 3-0 doesn't find any more points sometimes until they've lost the map. I feel like maybe it's overconfidence or overcomfortability. I'm not sure what, but in this case, Rome they cannot afford to get comfortable, because Raptors, being that crowning champion in Season 11, they have the ability to bounce back here.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're down 2 points because of that cap here, and you're right on match or map point here for this, you sometimes, at least depending on the team, from what I've observed, you kind of get a little bit more of that adrenaline pumping, or that anxiety to start getting you on edge more, so that way you can kind of at least be pressured into a lot better performance.
Yeah, and the pressure is on, so to speak, as we are getting into the first casted game for Raptors this season, kind of getting an eye on what they're going to be bringing to the table in Season 12, the reigning champion. And I'm sure Rome are very happy with the start of their performance so far in this series. We'll have to see if they can stay happy as Raptors go back onto the defense. They are, again, backs against the wall, down 1-3 on their map pick. Rome just a round away from going into their map pick with a map lead. Can't ask for a better situation for Rome. And so Raptors, they have a lot to fight for now as we get back into the action. Round number, oh gosh, the math, 4.
We are in 4. Soda's pushing farther north around, and seems like he's going to try to coordinate an attack with Meso all the way in the south.
An early pickup for Rome definitely spells good omens for their offensive push. They managed to get rid of that aggressive rotation from Rypic up through the center, and it might be quite some time before they run into anything else. The rest of this Rome defense is pretty tucked in. Soldiers in a common position, but waiting for a late angle, or really maybe even for just any audio cues. The rest of the Raptors defense watching that north side and also staying very tucked in. And so again, it's not going to be until really they start to try and cross the south or push from the north that we see much of anything. And a lot of the offenses playing this, it feels a bit patient, but they're already up in through the center and into that south ravine.
Yeah, Gladiator is surprisingly exposed here until he gets up to the rock in the truck. He was crouching down looking for something in the 3-story and didn't see anything, so that's when he actually went up to the rock.
The rock that I was supposed to be.
Yeah, and this defense might be throwing off Rome a bit because they are checking that 3-story quite a bit, and maybe they are almost expecting someone to be there. And if no one's there, it could just be a lot of wasted time, so to speak, trying to clear angles that are not being covered.
Yeah, and you'd think somebody would at least be there, but not actually sending somebody there could also play very well into their game, as you were saying, like making them check it several times, waste a few seconds at least, or a few rounds as they are looking for it. Tiger is trying to pick off what he thought was somebody in the 2-story bungalow in the north here, but it looks like Soda was rotating back off of that building here.
Yeah, and Tiger continuing to just sort of throw out some suppressive rounds over into that north side. Not 100% sure where anybody is, but suppressive fire certainly does pay off a lot if it's near the intended target. It'll absolutely force a player down and to be tucked in. And Tiger does get tagged from the side, a great long-range angle from the likes of Havoc, but it does not full kill, and so they are going to be able to survive a bit longer. And now Havoc, taking some shots, has to tuck back in.
Upper heli.
And listening on Havoc, he seems a little bit surprised in the fact that Tiger had re-peeked the window instead of relocating there after the shots.
It is certainly a big risk. In a game like Onward, 1 bullet kills, and so have to tuck in as Meso applies the pressure, pushes up to catch Raz, but Soldiers is there, tucked in to get that quick refrag. Very fast, so no communication on Soldiers' position except for that audio information that Soda and Havoc will ideally utilize to sort of figure out where Soldiers is and that there is a defender here. Havoc doesn't seem to be too aware that someone is right around the corner. Well, I say that, and there's the pre-fire.
Oh, a friendly down.
Maybe at the cost of a kill, though. They do get one off of that team kill, and Marksman really the only one on objective defending. If Marksman goes down, this whole north side can push in. Varix can easily gain control, and they find Marksman through the bottom floor window. So now Varix can push up to objective uncontested and punch in this code. Soldiers is the final defender in a 1v2 now, as they manage to get rid of one. A wild rotation here puts them way out into the open, and they actually see Soda. Can't connect in Rome. Take round 5 and go up 4-1 on map 1 here. A heck of a start for Rome. Exactly what they needed against the former reigning champ. While we have a brief break, Grenade, in between maps. A chance to shout out everyone hanging out and tuning in chat. Do see some new players dropping by, some new folks to the realm of VR. We appreciate you hanging out here to catch the action. This is the VR Master League, community-run esports league in VR. You can find all the information you need about it in chat, but you can also go to VRML.com if you want to see what other games VRML supports. Hopefully a growing list next year, so keep the eyes peeled. But again, shout out to everyone dropping by. We appreciate all of you hanging out, and you're tuning in to what has been so far, Grenade, a pretty dang good game. Rome and Raptors squaring off, and I don't think map 1 went the way that Raptors really were expecting coming into this.
No, they played it very well, if I remember the stats from Season 11. And while these are the top-tier teams, things can change between lineups and who was available to play tonight, or if they're going to actually put somebody in, particularly because of the map. Raptors played very well when I was looking and researching how their playstyle was to see what I was in for tonight. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a thing to bounce back from in map number 2 for them.
Yeah, we'll have to see where we're headed for map 2. I did temporarily put up that it could be Hook, but we'll have to wait for that lobby rehost to really know where we're headed. And I'll update that map 2. It is going to be Arctic. Grenade, I don't know what your experience is on Arctic. I've had the luxury of tuning into one match so far on the likes of Arctic, and it was spicy to say the least.
Yeah, I actually played a match, 2 matches earlier this week for it, and it's a very different kind of cargo feel.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more openness to it in certain spots, but you really got to watch your angles as you continue to push in towards the uplink.
I'm really excited to see this one played out because there's also a lot of opportunity for flashes to go over buildings, over walls, around corners. There's a lot of utility play that can be implemented here that, could lead to a sort of orchestrated attack. And so just a matter of waiting and seeing what we get out of these two teams on this kind of map. And again, it is really a big mystery what we're gonna get out of this squad here on Arctic, because Arctic, new to the league with this custom map pool rotation, hasn't been in the league in the past seasons, and is this first time it could be played this season. So if you're thinking about the choice in this map, I tend to go towards the reasoning here being that Rome are hoping that Raptors are unprepared for a new map. And I don't know how well that's going to work. If you think about Raptors, for them to win Season 11 after only being in the league for starting Season 10, kind of shows they're a team that can adapt to new things pretty quick. So I don't know that they're going to be unprepared for Arctic.
And we did actually have that conversation in my team, Homeland Esports, about picking maps strategically because of the fact that the custom maps are still new for this week even. Some teams may not have played them very well, practicing like actually doing a scrim on them, and a new map can give you a bit of an edge if you at least yourselves have practiced it or are comfortable with it from a previous standpoint. Like Arctic has a new basically a whole quarter wing to the map, where you have the helipad and you have the Southwest warehouse. And there's intricacies between each of those sections in here. Like if you're inside the warehouse, the uplink is in the open
Yeah.
towards the center, um, and you have very little cover to get there. But it's a smaller area, so you can smoke this very, very well. Same to the objective that we're currently going to be on in the far east. You put 3 smokes out on this spot, you're done. You shut down visibility. You have to play within point blank range.
It is a crazy map, and I think it's one that is going to become a favorite to watch. Already I've enjoyed the one series I've got to catch here, and now, Grenade, we get to watch the best of the best duke it out on this brand new Arctic map. Map number 2, Rome's map pick. Round 1, kicking it off. Rome on offense, Raptors on defense. And we'll see what we get in our first minute here. As you can definitely, the action can be done in 30 seconds on a map like this.
Oh yes, absolutely. We actually timed this map earlier than the week. You can get to the entire mid of the map in 15 seconds.
It's why, again, I think the utility can become such an important element. Being able to flash and play quick. Definitely something that could play into the hands of an offense. Even a defense, really, is... We already are seeing a bit of a potential exchange. Soda pushes out. Havoc swings wide. Able to get the double. Finds both Tiger and Marksman and can now tuck in and get Soda. It gives them full control to push from this side, and the rest of the team is trying to push in. We do see a kill come in from one end. Soldier's able to get Havoc on the other side, and again, we're just trading bullets on both sides of this map as Rome tries to pinch from the middle, the center, and I mean from every angle right now.
Yeah, and Soldier is the only one who's directly on the uplink. As Gladiator is pushing in from the center, looking south, gets Raz coming out of the room. I don't know the name of this one yet. I haven't learned all the callouts, honestly. This room is very popular to sit in, though, and he's going to get shot.
Yeah, peeking
against the wall there.
Yeah, they were clipping through the wall. Rypic takes the shot as it's presented to them to get the kill. They also will find Meso presenting themselves around the corner for an easy scoop up, and now Soda finds themselves in a 1v2 when Rome seemed to have the advantage on the attack, seemed to be forcing a bit of a chaos in rotations. Just like that, Rypic bounces it back, and now Soda's location identified, but not identified enough. Rypic goes down, Soldier's aware, we're into a 1v1.
There's still 4 minutes remaining. There's plenty of time for him to stop, pull back, even sit on the helipad and take a little bit of a drink kind of a break here, because there's just so much time and so little map to cover. He's going to try rotating all the way around to the north by that warehouse and seems to try to come in from a full north push where we had 2 Volk die over here recently.
Yeah, I see
in the garage right now, pushing mid in the end of it all.
Seeing those dead corpses, definitely an indicator that this route could be risky, but heck, any route's risky on a map like this, and Soda is going to be able to fly out from behind the tankers and catch Soldiers panically rotating around the OBJ. They had to, right? They had to defend so many potential cap angles that the only option for them is to be running around on the objective, just hoping that they get fortunate in finding the kill, but Soda is able to rotate all the way around and get that frag, and Rome continue to lead as they did all of map 1. They now kick it off with a lead on map 2 as well, 1-0.
Yeah, and this uplink is a little difficult to defend if you get the correct angle, because you actually can cap from inside the green rooms. They're in different points, mind you. If you are actually inside the green against the walls, you can cap that. And then, of course, you can get within, 6 or 10 feet of it, so you have basically up to these containers.
Yeah.
That you can get in and actually punch that code in. But there's no real cover spots. If you're in the green room, your only cover is the audio cover. You could still get shot easily for it, like coming from behind, or as you enter through the door, your tablet's in your hand. You can't reach for your pistol even to hope to defend yourself a little bit.
Can you cap on the other side of the wall in the green room?
Yeah, you actually can. Inside the green rooms, you like full inside.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I think one theme too to this map is that I think, and you mentioned this before, no matter where you go on with these objectives, they all seem highly cappable. They all seem to be incredibly hard to defend objectives, and I do like that. You know, I would complain if it was like, you know, certain objectives are easy versus hard, but every objective is hard. And so as you switch sides, both teams get that advantage of attacking a hard to defend objective. And so it's just a different style of map. And I love, again, I've only watched now like 6 rounds on this map, so maybe I'm too early to judge, but I'm certainly enjoying the fast pace that it has so far. And there's the first C4 I've seen deployed on this map, as we do see one get tossed out for Raptors on the attack in round 2.
Yeah, there are easier to cap up links on this map because you have... Havoc's going to take out soldiers as he approaches in from the north. Mark's getting a very large throw out with a flashbang. May not have connected with Havoc's here, though, as that one definitely was close by.
Wow.
The frag just barely out of his range. C4 going off in the south did not seem to grab anybody.
And now we're getting an aggressive send from Havoc after they've confirmed these kills on the side. We're seeing flashes over the wall for Havoc to push up here. Meso maybe next on trying to get a little extra presence to push up here onto Tiger Strike, but Raptors definitely not off to a good round 2 here, and Rome have just been playing very good in these in map 1 and now in map 2, not letting up any ground, finding the early picks, it seems like every round, and then maintaining that advantage.
Yeah, and as Tiger comes up, depending on his route he ultimately takes, because he knows that Meso is nearby, it seems, because he was looking that direction. He keeps checking his back. There are spots where, as I've said previously, he does like to lay down or put his head down as close to the ground as he can. You can see very, very clearly on this map when you start looking underneath cars or doorways for these containers.
Oh, and Raz trying to crouch under the eyes of Havoc. It's 3 now for Havoc. They're looking for the ace as Rypic does peek out right as Havoc continues to get aggressive on the back side, confirming the body there. Rypic actually continues to drop back, almost feeling like they're the one on being attacked. Havoc goes behind Tiger Strike undetected, doesn't detect Tiger Strike either, and what a strange offense we have here. It feels like Tiger's just trying to sneak up to objective.
Yeah, it may work for him a little bit, but this is a very exposed midpoint. You don't have really much cover on your right to the south beyond staying lower than the container box here. You at least have the gas cannons, the gas tanks here to help out, but he gets shot in the back ultimately by Varix, who did come in from the south. And like I said, it's a hard place to attack, especially in your own. It's got to be a coordinated push for this uplink.
And now with 5 alive for Rome, they certainly have an accurate kill count here. They know that it's a 5v1. You can look at the overhead and you can see they are all starting to advance forward. Now they are on the hunt for what could be this final kill, and it's a matter of time before Rypic has to try and muster up the full ace, the 1v5. Havoc rotating in on the aggressive tip, but now Rome has all tucked back, and it is going to be a hard-fought effort from Rypic. They're going to have to work through all of Rome's defense, who again are alive and well.
Yeah, and Rypic did just hear Meso chatting over here on the radio. He is looking more towards his angle a bit more frequently, but Havoc is coming around the corner.
Oh.
And he does get him with the new weapon. Now that suppressed weapon is going to give him at least a little bit of an advantage here because of the fact that it is suppressed naturally. It is an additional point, so it is a full 2. So he may not have carried as much utility, or he may have opted for a different site. But I'm hearing the Marsoc radio, or no, the Volk radio, I think it was, saying they need to pull back and get some more guys over here after that kill.
Yeah, it is good to be confident, but overconfidence kills, especially in a game like Onward. You can easily sneak through and find 2 points just like that. And so discipline is what really gets you with the W. And as Soda patiently waits for right pick to cross through that open doorway, they'll find the kill. And Rome will go up 2-1 on the Season 11 champions. It is again, great performance from this Rome team so far. And I mean, we're seeing a lot of good things from both sides, really. But I mean, the communication very on point from Rome. They're finding these early picks to set them up for success, and then they're playing in to that early pick. And it's really allowing them to get what seems to be overconfident in some of their plays. And if they're on the likes of Raptors, I'm not sure what the solution is. Maybe try and slow the play style down a little bit, but how do you even do that on a map like Arctic?
If you can accomplish that, if they can accomplish that, I should say, I want to know how to do that, because this was a very quick map that we played, and this particular uplink is very, very chaotic. It's obviously in a smaller restricted area than a couple other ones, say like the helipad, where it's on the southeast corner of that. This one, you got to have a C4 or a Molotov as like an emergency. There's no doubt about it. You have to have something in an effect to stop the attackers during a smoked push, whether it be from the containers or through the maze, because this maze is a harder thing to push through unless you cut through the building.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the strategy is on defense here, because again, you just get into an objective that is I feel like every objective here has one of those major concern points. As an example, in the north stairwell on Subway, you're concerned about the corner that you can't check, right? You have to commit to the full 90-degree check. It's the same thing here with this objective as well. It's positioned right on that corner, and so it's you have to cover certain spots that are tough to reinforce once you lose the coverage. And so let's see what Raptors can do on defense as we get back into the action. A quick break between rounds, and already Raptors off to a bad start as, oh no, Gladiator gets past Soldiers, and then Soda finds the kill. At least Tiger Strike
Gladiator
catches one.
Yep.
Oh
there
my.
It goes.
Wow. So fast, there wasn't even time to react, and it was a pre-30-second cap grenade.
Yeah, when we had a match against Excommunicado on this one, it was very, very difficult to detect when they were going to be within that capping range unless you had somebody directly watching this alley. Like, you can sit in the warehouse and watch it, but if you don't have somebody sitting like as a directly on it as an emergency, it's very easily cappable. And that puts Rome at 4-0 on Arctic, which we played 3 rounds? Did I have my count wrong?
Yeah, and if you blinked twice, you would have missed it. Incredibly fast Arctic map played there. Done and gone. And, I barely even caught the cap myself, let alone the team there. It's Gladiator just snuck past the defense. He just walked past the backs of the defenders, and nobody knew it happened. And so map 2 goes right into the hands of Rome. And for map 3, Raptors get the pick, and they take us to one that, again, we have not seen, at least yet this season. It's one that I'm certainly excited to watch. I haven't seen since the lighting update, which was a long time ago. And so good to see Tanker back into the map pool for the 2/3 point of the season, and we're going to see both teams duke it out on Tanker here. Raptors will go on defense, Rome will go on defense, Raptors on offense, as it is their map pick. And all right, here we go. Tanker, I mean, you literally couldn't watch this map without the flashlight turned on from the spectator side. it was impossible. Now I don't even have a flashlight available, and frankly, I do not need it.
Hit him with flashbangs and push up.
Yeah, the lighting is a whole lot better on this one since the live
Oh.
update. Oh, they do a round reset? It appears something was
Yeah.
not quite correct there.
A
So
quick
they did a round
reset.
reset at 1 second.
Yeah, and it looks like, where's our first objective? It is going to be underground. And
Underground? I'm seeing
or
it
no,
above
ground, you're
on
right, sorry.
the
Yeah,
cargo.
yeah, I missed it on the right there. It is going to be above ground, and so you did hear the at a new, well, I guess it's quote unquote new, to a different upstairs cargo location, and you could hear the callouts were 4 flashes from the Raptors side, and so I imagine that they are going to be planning a fast push up to this objective, and very well could be sort of the intended strategy for all of Tanker. They very well could be coming into Tanker looking to play it quick, a lot like Arctic got played against them.
Yeah, that might have been the reason for the round reset if they didn't have a full set of flashes that they were expecting after doing a bit of strategy on the scoreboard or the map board there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual holdup reasoning was, but maybe again just someone not ready. And to your point, it does give them time to continue to strategize in between rounds. For those not in the know, there is a scoreboard or a whiteboard with the map, and players can draw on it. Your respective team can see your drawings, and so you can kind of hash out strategies on maps. And I am now seeing a disconnect there from Rome, so hopefully a quick back and forth. I'm just going to take a quick check to make sure it isn't a official timeout, but I am getting a message from Rome. And seems like there is some technical issues with the map, and well, maybe we're running into a bit of maybe a potential patch issue, but either way, it does look like it is going to be a timeout called from Rome. And so I think we will cut to a brief intermission. We may have to do some lobby work here and solve some problems, but quick look at the current scoreline: 4-1 on Downfall, 4-0 on Arctic, and we were about to start Tanker here, but we'll see. Everyone hang around, hang tight. Map 3 will be live when we come back. Don't go anywhere if you want to continue to catch the action. We'll be right back.
Yes.
I had to get rid of him.
He was being toxic.
Every time he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him? Just keep
I
unbanning
don't
him,
know,
Like,
bro. Man.
go. One more to go.
Yep. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with round number 1 of map 3, Raptors versus Rome. It is on Tanker, a map that is new to the map pool this season, one that hasn't been played yet in Season 12, and so it should be exciting to see what we get. The lighting has been overhauled since we've seen it in Season 11. There's been new objectives placed since Season 11, and so it's going to be an interesting watch as, again, we watch two of the best teams, two of the top-rated squads in the VRML duke it out. Flashes come up and over from Soldiers, not enough to catch Meso as they find the first kill. A trend that continues for Rome as they continue to lead in kills at the start of rounds. There's a quick refrag from the likes of Tiger Strike. Marksman was also taking some heat, but a good coordination from the team to at least get things back 4-4.
Well, all this action has been happening up top here with 2 more kills against Raptor. Raz has been going underneath all the way around on the opposite side of the map, coming up behind Gladiator here.
Yeah, and they are a bit loud, so Gladiators should be able to hear
mid.
these footsteps, but it doesn't seem like they're too keened in to someone being very close to them, and Raz and Gladiator are just going to continue to stay very close. Raz finds one behind them, and it's throwing them a bit off on defense. There's the double 1-for-2 trade, as Varix now has to watch from both sides, concerned about a potential flanker and marksman in the front. It's a 1v2.
Gladiator's got a great reserve spot for defending this. Granted, Raz didn't walk right past him in the open, just out of visibility here. Marksman's going to take the new weapon, it sounds like, based on that suppressor, and take some shots off at Varix, and double back for some utility.
Is that a specialist gun? That new?
That is.
Yeah, not
Oh,
surprised.
he grabbed an AK.
Yeah, that's
He
an
decided to
interesting
grab
choice.
an AK, so that way he's got, at least got the gun sounds of what Varix and Gladiator are expecting here. With a 1v2, it may cause a little bit of a odd confusion for a quick communication check, but
Yeah, I mean, they should also know there's only 2 of them left, right? So if they
Yeah.
hear a third gun, it is just the enemy. But once they get into that fight, yeah, it's going to be hard to know who's come out on top, as you have 2 of the same gun shooting at each other.
a tablet check will obviously be warranted there if Varix does go down in the center area where it's outside of Gladiator's direct sight. But looks like Rome is changing the tactics a little bit from playing center and holding back for a reserved approach here. The marksman's going to have to come out in the open eventually here on the left-hand side. Varix might be able to peek underneath the doorway, but Marksman's going to seemingly get around him.
Yeah, and with 3 minutes left, Marksman has a good bit of time to really kind of clear out all of these different nooks and crannies. I imagine they'll try and make their way inside that bottom floor of the ship, eventually get to the back of Gladiator. As they do try and find the back of Varix there, taking those shots is going to give away that position, and so you do see a quick rotation from that spot, and it looks like they also ID Gladiator, so they could actually have an exact idea of where they are, but Varix dialed into Marksman as they tried to rotate back, and Rome again continue the theme of having the lead as they go up 1-0 on map 3 here. Surprised to see them playing so well, truly. They are really doing a great job up against this Raptors squad.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact spot in the North America or the America East-West standings they are, but I know they're at least 4 spots lower than Raptors. So I wasn't expecting as much of a full, I don't want to use the word domination, but a full control of the kill counts and the points here.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the site to get an idea of what the voting looked like on this matchup. And I think I might be too late. It's not gonna already be.
Raptors was 30 to Rome 3.
So the community also very much anticipating what we would expect from Raptors, the reigning champs, but man, Rome really, again, coming in here and playing well. You know, it's not that Raptors played poorly today. It's just that Rome played a very good, disciplined series and, again, continued to find these early picks. I think it's one thing that Raptors are going to have to maybe analyze back and look back on and say, look, we continued to lose early game, and we never made an adjustment. And that's why Rome continued to take leads at the start of maps and take what could be all 3 maps. As now Rome goes on the attack, they are on the hunt for a 3rd map here today. Raptors on the defense, just looking for anything, looking for a point lead if they can get it. We get back into the action for round 2.
Yeah, and I can't recall anything that Raptors made a misstep on with the first 2 maps, other than maybe not defending the uplink and Arctic. Gladiator and right are on top of each other and coming around for Soldier. And he does end up getting him with an SA-80. pushing now lower objective, or lower, I can't think of the word, the lower hallway there.
The underground.
Meso and Marksman trading. There was a new weapon, they had 2 new weapons there that I heard sounds off of. An AK-104.
Tiger Strike on objective, putting rounds through the smoke. Rome are looking good on this attack. There is cap potential as smokes come in, and Raz is the only defender. Gladiators coming in from the back. They have the full pinch.
Ooh.
One goes down. Varus' tablet out on the smoke. Can't get the code in time. Raz finds 2. It does leave Rome with 2 left, and Soda's gonna find the kill. Just decides to take the round, but I mean, just good execution again from Rome. They are now really riding this momentum train. They have, I think, 10 unanswered points. We only saw that 1 point come in from Raptors at the start of map 1, and since then it has been, as you can see the overall scoreline there, 10-1 coming in from the likes of Rome. This Rome squad really performing well here, and you know, it could be a number of things if you think about it, Grenade. It could be this rotating map pool. We saw Arctic and Tanker come in here to play. On top of that, Downfall, which hasn't been played in a couple of weeks, you know, and so there definitely was a lot of maybe unexpected thrown at Raptors today. I'm not sure what it was that just caught them unprepared for Rome.
Yeah, I mean, Arctic, it seems like they didn't know the best way to defend the last uplink. I mean, I keep coming back to them because that was such a quick cap that Gladiator have.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also new to the map as well, but it with how quick Gladiator had done that,
yeah,
and nobody sitting directly on it, I think I just keep coming back to I don't know if it's just me with how I would play strategy wise, but nobody was sitting on it, so that's irking me as like a tactical failure.
Well,
I would be interested to see how other people play that uplink though,
yeah,
because that one is a hard one to get to without a very quick cap.
I feel
you have
like
to have that quick cap potential.
We're going to see Arctic either banned or picked a lot in this rotation, so we'll definitely get some eyes on it throughout the next few weeks. It'll give us a good idea of what that kind of gameplay looks like, what the meta ends up unfolding to be. The meta continuing to be here that Raptors end up losing one early, but this time they actually have the KD advantage up against Rome. We switch objectives to the basement, and it seems the rollout's a little bit more successful for them. Gladiator shuts down right pick, getting a bit too aggressive. That does take things back 3-3, but the rest of this offense on the other side in the defense, so we're going to see an interesting clash soon.
He's here with me.
Tiger clearly not very happy in the fact that he missed. Oh! Gladiator TK's Havoc into the Chaos, thinking that Marsoc was coming behind him. He does end up getting the kill on Tiger. Varix gets the kill on Raz coming in from the south as the Chaos ensues in the the eastern part of the entryway here.
Yeah, and that was
It is
Raptors'
a
play
1-2.
there. They tried to enter in from those both sides, but couldn't quite orchestrate it well enough. Soldiers just a touch behind, and now they are into that 1v2, like you said, trying to push inside here. Without utility, though, it is a very hard entry to make, and even the basement has seen changes, so new placements in terms of where the cargo actually is also impacts layout and how you throw utility and everything. And so Rome, I think, set up well enough, but Soldiers has a lot of time and a few different options, really. Oh, they actually get Gladiator.
He's about to come up on. Few extra rounds to tag him, make sure he's actually down and out for the count. Gonna give away the fact that he's coming in from the east. I'm sorry, the north here. I am discombobulated in the map. Cardinal directions.
Yeah, you really gotta go wide on your east and west call-outs, but yeah, it is Soldiers in the north trying to make their way in. Barracks, the lone defender, as a nice little slice pick from Soldiers, sets this up for the 1v1. And again, a lot of time, so 3:30 to work with. Soldiers can stay quiet for their entire rotation. They can pillage and throw utility. They have several different plays ahead of them, and you can see Varix is trying to monitor all of these different options by checking these several different entryways.
Yeah, and I think Varix is in a bit more, unless he moves here, I think he's in a bit more of a better angle. He does get shot, though. He is wounded. He's going to do a quick heal there.
Oh no, and the click. Soldiers
Oh,
out
no.
of ammo. Dives down, slams home a reload in seconds, and finally Raptors get a point. It has been, again, since map 1 that Raptors have been on the board. Rome really dominating the series so far, but they at least managed to put one there on the board. Comes down to the 1v1, so a bit close, but
Yeah.
they do manage to win it and take that round. We now switch sides and go back to that same objective, and so now Rome get their hands at attacking. And we've seen caps come in already from Rome on both maps, so who's to say they won't be targeting one here on map 3?
And there's plenty of cover for him as they do approach really from any side except for this left doorway facing the south. It's a little bit more open, but I feel like they could sneak in from the east on these water containers and actually get this cap.
Yeah, it is certainly possible, especially with how Rome's been playing. I'm not going to take it off of the potential plays there to come through. While we do wait for our next round, I will give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. For those not in the know, we have several different sponsors that end up contributing both hardware and cash prizing to champions. At the end of the season, we take the top. I'll wait for the music. We take the top 8 teams in the regular season ladder. We pit them up against each other in a tournament, and the top 3 come out with a chunk of that prize pool. The prize pool, again, comes from our sponsors. Those sponsors are HyperX, ProTube VR, VR Cover, VRWare, Asterion, Border Foods, and of course VRML. You can find more about those sponsors at vrml.com/sponsors. So please go check that out. Show them some love. All of those products, or most of them, VR focused. The ProTube in particular, one of my favorites. I really do like to have that mount to stabilize the aim in any shooting FPS game.
An interesting approach from Varix is coming in with actually Havoc's in the far west. They're both gonna tag up Buddy Team this push down from the western approach, while the others seem to do the exact opposite angle in. Meso is tagging in a bit far behind, but they haven't started the push down stairs here yet.
Yeah, it seems like Varus kind of shooing them off a little bit, trying to get them to be quiet so that this entryway, this whole walk up here is a little bit stealth, but they don't need stealth. There's so much chaos and noise inside objective, and everybody is inside the objective room to defend.
Yeah, we're seeing Gladiator pre-firing the corner as he was very, very concerned that Tiger was down in that spot. Rypic and Gladiator do trade with Gladiator out for the count, and Rypic finally gets confirmed by Soda here. Marksman with the new MX does not connect with Marksman here in the end.
We don't get to see that new gun up on the kill feed. Instead, we see the old tried and true AK-5C
Soda.
and Soda finding several kills, leaving it all up to Raz in a 1v3. If this west approach can get the smokes into objective, again, I think the cap attempt could be orchestrated here.
And I don't know if Rome was meaning to not have the west push at all and only the 2 in the east. But it seems like if they had pushed at the same exact time, then they would have at least caused enough chaos where they could have gotten Raz, or maybe a bit more distraction efforts off of the east. They are all stacked up in this hallway, so one frag grenade could...
They got one south side.
Or a well-placed flash would do a lot of damage as well.
Varix looks like he's trying to communicate with them. What is Havoc's doing? His hands there. Full effort in VR to keep silent communication.
Costs the life, potentially, of their teammate by getting open on those comms. Raz with a very nice rotation off of the objective to catch that kill. And still
Raz
they
gonna peek this.
are toying with challenging that hallway. And with Barracks and Meso there, it was a 1v2 challenge. Meso ends up getting the kill on the cross, and Raptors continue to be at a deficit as Rome takes another point, and they go up 3-1 on map 3. And you know, he's talked about it a little bit, Grenade. The top 10 this season, we really don't know what to expect. You know, I really don't know what season 12, even the top 10 rankings look like, you know, a week from now, let alone towards the end of the season. And, you know, I think we are not alone in this sentiment. You know, you look at the connoisseur vote, you look at how many people assumed Raptors would come out on top here in this series. It just is not the case today. Rome really playing well, and you know, I'm not sure again what the real solution is for Raptors other than just trying to not get picked early. When they can avoid that, they seem to obviously have a much better chance of coming out on top. But the community and myself, who were all sort of surprised, I bet, by this series. And well, we're not going to be surprised in the future when we watch Rome. You know, we're going to be expecting now Rome to come out and play competitive on the rest of their week or the rest of their season here in season 12.
And with Raptors at a 1 to 3 point wise, if they are not successful here, this will be the entire series last point here.
Oh,
Varix,
no.
as we start talking, picks off right pick on the southern approach. Oh! And Gladiator down Soldier with a C4 placed just off the container there.
The underground approach coming through from both Marksman and Raz. Finally, Tiger able to get a frag from the distance there through the center. But it is a 4v3, make it a 5v3 as the res comes through uncontested. Havoc comes flying around the corner in that darkness and gets another kill. Team kill there, favoring the likes of Raptors, but we're into a 2v4 with Raz and Marksman trying to make their flank.
And everybody on Rome is out and shifting around the uplink. Gladiator is the only one holding still as, well, he's starting to move now, but as Raz and Marksman were starting to look towards the center of the uplink here, everybody's moving around.
Gladiator identified it, calls out the backside, and you can see everyone crashing over here to defend. I'm sure Raz identified through those windows. And now Gladiator's actually going to apply some pressure up towards Raz. Takes the shots over, a trade, headshot for headshot. It leaves Marksman alone in a 1v3, and although they get a kill, there's still 2 left alive on Rome, and we are done with the series. Rome come out on top with 3 maps locked in. 4-1 map 1, 4-0 map 2, 4-1 map 3. Again, an opposite of what the connoisseur votes had, but well deserved from Rome today. They definitely came in and played disciplined and, I mean, disciplined and aggressive, really.
Yeah. I mean, I came in expecting Raptors to at least be very good on the downfall side from what I was watching earlier in the day to research their play styles. And it seemed like they were trying to pull that off, but Rome just kept picking them apart one by one until the last 2 people were alive on Raptors for the defense. Through the entire thing, I don't think I could identify something, at least at my skill level, because I'm not a Raptors.
Yeah, neither am I.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm only spectating here. But I don't see anything in particular that they didn't do where they could have had the clear advantage.
Yeah.
There was nothing clear to me showing that, from a spectator's point of view, that they could have done this one thing and they would have had a map.
It would have been hard fought no matter what they did, for sure. This series was either going to be Rome coming out on top or a close battle with Raptors putting up good fights. But we end up having Rome coming out on top. Again, the overall scoreline 12-2 at the end of the day, so a strong performance from them. And we're going to have to keep watching Rome as they progress throughout the rest of this season, because if they continue to play like this, they will certainly be a team that could contend for that top 8 spot and be, well, I suppose a pace that we aren't, they're not unfamiliar to that postseason stage, but it'll be good to see them there yet again. And so just a matter of time. We got a lot more games left ahead of us this week. Be sure to tune in to twitch.tv/VR Master League or on Horizon venues Saturday at 6 p.m. PST and Sunday at 12 p.m. PST for more Onward VRML action. Also likely to have maybe a game here tomorrow or on VRML 2, so keep the eyes peeled for that as well. But that'll be it for us here on the desk. Again, a quick shout out to everyone hanging out in chat. We really do appreciate all of you stopping by and enjoying the VR content. Share it with your friends. Hit that follow button so you can come back for more later. And also, again, a shout out to all of our sponsors. You've seen them take across the bottom of your screen. You've seen them in the pre-show. They are HyperX, Border Foods, VR Cover, VR Wear, ProTube VR, and VRML. All coming together to offer what is now over $7,000 in prize pool. So, certainly something to compete for, and I'm looking forward already to the postseason. But, again, plenty of weeks left ahead. I think roughly 7 or 8, so a lot of action to come.
Yeah.
And we are going to be signing off here so we can get we can rest and prepare for more of it. My name has been NightFiree with 2 E's, my co-caster Grenade Magnet with also technically 2 E's. We will see you again later, but until then, stay classy.